But it's early and the sun is just rising. Hi there, welcome back to another Angle UK. I'm keeping my voice down because there's canal boats up and down here. I'm actually on the Grand Union Canal today, and what I'm doing is fishing for a fish that I've never ever caught before. I've read all about it when I was a kid, and I've got an opportunity now to see if I can catch one, and it's the Zander. So I've got two rods out, set up, both on a dead bait roach. It was an early start. I got up at 4:30, so dead keen. Dee's down here sleeping. She's not used to getting up this early, but she was brighter than me anyway. So this, I've been told, is quite a good spot because there's an overhanging tree, and I think the Zander must hang out underneath it, and there's quite a bit of vegetation on the opposite side. So I've had my roach frozen in the little deep freeze thing in the camper van, and it turns out it's more efficient than I thought it was because the roach is still frozen solid. So I'm thawing those out on the bank here. I'm going to fish for as long as I can until the boats start moving, and then I've one or two other things that I want to try, fishing maybe for silverfish and things during the day. And then when the boats stop moving, 6-7 o'clock this evening, I'm going to come back and have another go if I haven't caught one already. So I've had a dead bait under this tree for about half an hour. I've now moved down, there's some lilies across there. I've put another dead bait under those lilies. I've been advised just give it about 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes at each mark. And then we'll walk down underneath the bridge, and there's some boats and things further along that way, and we'll give that a try as well. So my bait is right in amongst those lilies there. Hopefully there's some Zander lurking under there. Just moved along a bit, some reeds opposite, thought I'd give that a try, and then we'll keep heading up towards a boatyard up that way. Got another float out this way as well. Come. Good girl. So, bit of a change. A little bit further along by the boats now. Still fairly quiet. There's no boats cruising just at the minute. It's just before 8 o'clock. Hopefully we can get another hour or so. Again, two dead baits out. There's one just in front of this boat, and I got one towards the rear of it. Dee's got the zoomies. That dog's crazy. Here she comes again. Come on then. Come on, Dee. Yeah. So I've had a quick break. I went back to the camper van, got some breakfast, something to drink, made some coffee. and quite a few boats were coming past at about sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Maybe they were going back to the higher centres up here, but it's all gone quiet now. It's now just after 12. There's not as many boats moving, which is good. So I've come back to the big tree that overhangs into the canal. You can see ducklings have gone a long way under. The bank must be well under, and these trees must come about halfway across the canal. So I've got 2 dead baits out. I've got a sprat on this one and a roach on the left rod. So gonna stay here for a bit. Underneath that tree definitely looks fishy, so I'm hopeful that something's going to happen on this one. I've swung baits out as far as I dare next to the branches there, hoping that the fish will be able to find it. So fingers crossed, we're going to get ourselves a Zander today. It did rain quite a bit earlier on, hence getting the jacket on too. Right, I got a fish on. I just saw the float beginning to move. So hopefully it's taken that up nicely. Seems to be putting a bend in the rod. Oh, he's not coming up just yet. Let it take some line. Oh, it's on its way. Just trying to keep it away from the other line. So yeah, finally got it in the net. Oh, it's not a bad old pike. It's just hooked in the corner of the mouth. Yeah, really nice pike. Very pleased with that. Yeah, great pike. Nice one. We'll get this one back. I'll just run you through what I caught that pike on. The rod is actually a Corum barbel rod with a 2.5 test curve on it. Handled that really nicely. The reel is the Liner Fee 4000 that I think you've seen me use before. It's a bait runner. 10-pound Daiwa sensor line, and that comes through to the float setup, which is quite simple. I've got a float stop, a bead, 15-gram float, just a little, I think it's a 12-gram weight, stopper bead, and I've put that on a wire trace. So I've got a short wire trace and just a single circle hook onto the dead bait. Now that pike was just hooked right in the scissor. Absolutely perfect, because nothing like as difficult to extract a hook as if you had trebles and snap trackle that I really don't like. Just a single hook, that's all it took, in the corner of the mouth. Perfect hold on it. Nice fish. I don't know, I think maybe around about 5-6 pounds. Just saw the float disappearing off. I was hoping it was going to be my Zander. Let's go and see if I can get the Zander. It's quite hard this fishing, isn't it, Doug? Hey? You enjoying the fishing, Dee? What about that pike? Nice one. So I've made a move. Going to rest that other swim for a bit, and hopefully I can get back there this evening and nobody else is fishing it. So I've just come a little bit further down towards the next bridge, and noticed there was quite a few reeds across the way there, and just around this side it kind of cuts in a little bit. So I've wondered if we'd got potential for fish hanging around here. And then I'll move a bit further down this way in about 3/4 of an hour or so, and then work my way down towards the marina. It's not too far, I don't think, but travelling light, so it's quite easy. Dee likes it. She enjoys the bit where we're moving from one swim to the next, because she gets off the lead and runs up and down the tow path. So I've just got to keep my eye open for boats, because there are some boats coming along. I just got everything set up just then, sat myself down, and I thought, oh, I can hear a boat. So there we go. I think the wind's forecast to die down a little bit later on. It's not really a problem when you're sort of float ledgering. Your bait just sits on the bottom. On this rod now I've put a smelt, half a smelt, and on that half smelt I've just put a couple of slices down the side to get a few juices coming out of it. If you've not had any indications in the first sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, you probably want to move on and track the fish down, see if you can find them. Oh, it was lovely pike. It was a cracking fish. I was made up with it. And I know they get much bigger in here, but I was really chuffed with that. It wasn't the target species, but it was really good. It's really good, I enjoyed it. So we've got plenty of bait and should be able to fish on into dusk. I've got my head torch down here, so should be all right. Bit of an occupational hazard here. Quite a few boats going past. That's 4 in the last 10 minutes. Keep having to wind in. So I've just moved a bit further down the canal. Hopefully this wind noise isn't too bad for you, but it's quite windy today. Right, this float's moving about quite a bit. Yeah, got a fish on. Wonder what it is. It's pulling away. I think it might be a small jack, I don't know. Coming into the bank. So I do believe we may possibly have a Zander. We might have. In the net. Yep, it's a Zander. Just keep that in the net there. So this is probably not the biggest Zander you've ever seen, but this is my first Zander. What a fish. I am so pleased with this Zander. Hooked just in the corner of the scissors. That one was on a sprat. Absolutely perfect. He's not going to hold his dorsal fin up for us. So, fantastic. Fantastic. A Zander. My first ever Zander. So pleased with that. Beautiful fish. So just a quick update. I've walked down the canal and I'm at this sort of turning area, and there's a marina entrance behind me. This is supposed to be an area where there's some good fish, good pike, good Zander. So I thought it'd be rude not to put a bait in. So what is it now? It's about 6:15. It's started to rain a bit, but it's not dampening the enthusiasm, never does. I'll get my coat on, see what I can do to shelter Dee, poor old girl. See if there's somewhere I can hide her. Right, it's coming on for a bit of a rain, so I'm going to get the camera away. Don't know if you can see that. It's properly raining now. So I've just freshened up my baits. I'm on smelt at the minute. This float over here, just a couple of minutes ago, a large-ish Zander rolled on the surface, probably a similar size to the one I got earlier. It actually came up and rolled on the surface about 2 or 3 foot from a float. So really encouraged by that. Just shows they're around, even if they're not taking the baits at the minute, they're here. This time of day, brilliant. There's no canal boats going up and down. They're all very jolly, and you know, you've got to share the canal. But it is, you can guarantee that when you swing your bait across and you get within inches of the far bank and the overhangs, a boat will turn up and you think, oh, I've just got my bait set up. It's just part of it really, isn't it? So I can't wait for one of these floats to start moving again. It's about 8 o'clock. I've come out for another couple of hours fishing. You never know, might get another one. As it goes dusk, it might be a good time for them. I can't say how happy I am to get that Zander. And I thought about it, you know, as a kid, we talked about fishing for Zander, and I never lived in the right area and never had the opportunity. So I guess for those that have always had them on the doorstep, they'll be saying, oh Phil, that wasn't really a big Zander. But I'm really chuffed with it. It was brilliant. I loved it. So that's been great. The pike this morning was a great fish too. Really nice. So I hope all that's come out on video. So the sun's going down and gonna draw the video to a close. Thanks so much for coming along on this one. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great. I've had some great advice and tips from people behind the scenes to put me onto the fish. That's been great. So they know who they are. So thanks very much for that. So all I can say now is thanks for joining me. Tight lines from me, tail wag from Dee. She's in the van having a tea. Okay, bye for now.